Hello to all of you crazy, wonderful folks that wear hearing aids, me included. How are you guys doing? I told you guys if you had questions to leave them in the comments, to email me, and you guys delivered. And I'm so happy you did. We got a bunch of questions, and that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to answer I think about 7 of those questions. Now, most of these questions, since there were so many questions about the Jabra, since I did the video and the review on them, I guess I skipped a lot of the Bluetooth stuff. I guess it just never dawned on me. So we have some questions about that. First question is from Mr. Ken Her himself. Your video was informative, but I sat through the whole video waiting to hear about streaming music, and you jumped right past it. Of course I did. I wish you would have shown how it works, even though you don't use it. Others like myself would. Well, Ken, you are in luck, my man, because I've got a phone right here, and I'm actually going to put this on the screen so you could see exactly what I'm doing. Now, you didn't mention whether you have a iPhone or a Samsung or Android phone. So I'm going to show you how to do it on both of them. Now, with the Jabras, they are a MiFi hearing aid. If you're using the iPhone, super easy. And I made a video on it called How to Connect Your iPhone to Your Hearing Aids. You're going to go to your settings on the phone, not in the app or anything. You're going to go down to accessibility and then hearing devices. Once you're in hearing devices, it's going to show you like it's searching up on top, and you're just going to power off the hearing aids and then turn them back on. That's going to put them in pairing mode for a couple of minutes, and you'll see your hearing aids pop up. Make sure it says the left and the right. Once it does, you just tap that with your finger, and it's going to connect the hearing aids. You will get a little prompt that pops up saying, do you want to pair these? And you just hit the pair button. And that should pop up twice, once for the left, once for the right. And then that's it. You are now connected to your iPhone, and you can now stream. So if you watch like a YouTube video, if you listen to music on Pandora, iHeartRadio, whatever, get a phone call, you're going to now have the option for Bluetooth streaming. And it's as simple as that. The really cool thing about the iPhone is you don't even need any additional software. You don't need to download an app. All you have to do is just connect them, just like I showed you, and you will have a bunch of options that the iPhone gives you right from the get-go. So once they're connected, go ahead and just open up a YouTube video, play a podcast, play a song, whatever you want, and it's going to be streaming automatically. And if you want, you can swipe down from the top right of your screen, and you'll see like this little play window where you can pause it, you can skip the track to the next song or the next YouTube video, and there's a little ear, and you just click on that ear, and that will give you the option to change from streaming through your hearing aids or the sound coming out of the speaker like normal, your speakerphone. Now, another cool thing, again, which we're going to be talking about here in a little bit, is the triple click menu. So once you have your hearing aids connected in the accessibility menu, hearing devices, you now have access to the triple click menu. And I call this the secret hearing aid menu because nobody knows about it. And again, talk about it in my video. But if you triple click that side button, if it's set up right, then it will bring up a whole set of hearing aid options. You're going to be able to turn the microphones up and down. So if you're listening to music or watching a video and the kids are playing in the background, they're so noisy and you just want to like kind of shut them off, you could just take the microphones, the left and the right microphone volume all the way down. That's basically going to mute the hearing aids from picking up any outside sound so that you get nothing but the streaming sound. Because with hearing aids, when you're streaming, you're still using the microphone. You're still using the hearing part of the hearing aid. It's still going to give you amplification of the surrounding sound. So you can turn that off, and you can also adjust the treble and bass, and a couple other little things that are kind of helpful. So there you go. That's how it works on the iPhone. If you're going to be streaming on an Android, you have to use the app, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. So hope that answers your question. Now, if you have an Android phone, what you're going to be doing is you're going to connect the hearing aids through the app, and you also have to make sure that your Android is compatible with the streaming. It's a little more difficult with Androids. I always tell everybody, if you have hearing aids and you plan on hooking them up to your phone and using these great features, get yourself an iPhone. The Androids are not as good. They are getting better, and they are updating stuff to make it more compatible, but it's not as good. Now with my Android, I have a Galaxy S22, super easy. You just open up the app. It's going to ask you to pair or connect the hearing aids, and everything is done through the app. You don't actually do anything through the Bluetooth menu itself. Once you connect them to the app, for my phone, it just starts streaming. If I play a song or watch a video, it goes through my hearing aids. And if I get a phone call, it goes through my hearing aids. So super easy. I hope that helps and answers your question. All right, the next question is from GoUKUX5908. And they said, you didn't cover Bluetooth. I know I didn't. Can I switch between devices? Example, like from my phone to my iPad, relatively easy. Does the Bluetooth flake out at traffic corners? Will battery still last all day if I walk around listening to music or a book on Bluetooth for most of the day? Very good question. So can you switch between devices easily? Yeah, I think it's kind of easy. And I actually did this for 2 different patients so far, and I didn't know that you're able to do this until I was encountered with this. You can have them paired to 2 devices, but only one can be connected at a time. So if you want to do this, what you're going to do is connect it and pair it to the phone. And then once that's paired and connected and you've confirmed that it's actually working and streaming and all that fun stuff, then you're just going to shut off the Bluetooth on that device, and that will free up the hearing aids. Then you can go to your iPad. It's pretty much the same process as doing it on an iPhone. You go to your settings, you go to accessibility, you go down to hearing devices, connect it just like I show you guys in the video. If you have any trouble with that, just check out the video, how to connect your hearing aids to an iPhone. It's the same as the iPad. And then once you connect it to the iPad, then you're good to go. If you want to switch back to the phone, you're going to have to shut off the Bluetooth on the iPad or just shut the iPad down. Again, that's going to free up the hearing aid so that you can use it on the phone. Relatively easy. I think it's pretty easy. Just shutting off the Bluetooth and turning it back on. Now, I'm going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone on this question because a friend of the Hearing Club named Jim S., I don't know if you guys want me to give out your last name, so I'm just going to call him Jim S. He sent me an email asking about the Optimize MiFi. This is an option that they added to the Jabra app. And he asked me, what does Optimize MiFi Connection actually do? So I'm just going to break it down for you guys by reading it straight from the developers of the app. All right, so on July 9th, 2018, Resound, Jabra, GN, Belltone, all the same thing, released an update to the app. The big news with this release is the addition of the Optimize MiFi Connection. Optimize MiFi Connection is an optional setting that is intended to improve connection and stability of audio streaming. And optimize performance for users switching between iOS devices, just like what you're talking about, Go UK, switching from your iPhone to the iPad. So let me repeat that. Optimize performance for users switching between iOS devices. Visit the More menu within the app to find the Optimize MiFi Connection function. Since this is an optional setting, there are several factors to consider before activating it. The Optimize MiFi Connection feature does disable some other features built in to the app. When Optimize MiFi Connection is enabled, the Find My Hearing Aid function will reflect the location when the app was last open and active. Even if the app continues to run in the background, it will no longer track the location status in real time. Now, this is if it is enabled, okay, the Optimize MiFi Connection. If you enable the Optimize MiFi Connection setting and you are using the app through the Apple Watch, it will be able to control the hearing aids through the watch only if the app is also open on the iPhone. Now, when Optimize MiFi Connection is disabled, the Find My Hearing Aid function will continue to work with the app running in the background. It will show the last location when the hearing aids are connected to the app, and full functionality of the Apple Watch will be available. The app does not need to be open on the phone. So if it's disabled, the app doesn't need to be open on the phone. You can have full control of everything through the Apple Watch. And just another quick note about Optimize MiFi Connection, it is defaulted off in the app. So what they're telling us is if somebody reports connections or streaming issues, they may choose to turn this feature on. If the patients do not report any connection issues and desires the full benefit of the Find My Hearing Aid option, the optimized MiFi connection should remain off. It's basically used if you're having connection issues. So if you're having trouble there, a lot of times when I'm streaming, if I'm watching a YouTube video, sometimes when I'm driving, it will switch from, the left ear to the right ear. It's kind of annoying, but I'm actually going to go ahead and turn the optimized MiFi connection on to see if that clears up some issues. Now, what I got out of this and what I would advise you guys is if you're not having any issues, leave it alone. If you're having any kind of connection issues, try turning it on. If it's currently on and you're having connection issues, turn it off. Usually when we call into Jabra, if somebody's having Bluetooth issues or they just won't stay connected, they tell us to turn this kind of stuff off. So just play around with it. If you're not having any issues, just leave it alone. That's what I would do. And Jim, thank you for the question. And guys, I'll put a link to this document that I'm reading in the description if you guys want to check it out and read it yourself, okay? Now, the next question we're going to go over, this is from somebody named Soonbird or Sun eBird. I'm not sure which way to pronounce it, but this person asked this. I have a question about frequency response. I'm doing a sound test using Bose speakers. When I have the Go Prime hearing aids in the high frequency mode, it cuts off at 9 kilohertz or 9,000 hertz. Even when in the high frequency program. So the Go Prime hearing aids are an over-the-counter hearing aid, guys, that I did a review on. They're $300 and they have 3 different settings for hearing loss. They have a flat setting if you have a flat hearing loss. They also have a high frequency sloping setting, and then they have a reverse slope if you have a low frequency hearing loss but hear good in the high frequencies. And when this person has the high frequency slope setting turned on, which is a pretty typical hearing loss, then the hearing aid cuts off at 9,000 hertz. When they are out, I can hear up to 15 kilohertz. Are higher frequencies an issue with all hearing aids? I wouldn't say they're an issue, son. I would say that hearing aids, all the hearing aids that I've ever used, all the hearing aids I've programmed, I've set up, they only amplify up to 8,000 hertz. So yes, higher frequencies are an issue if you're referring to anything above 8,000 hertz. And thank you for the question. All right, next question. This is from my buddy Jim again. Jim, it looks like you are the star of the show today. So just took delivery of my Jabra 10 Pro minis from Costco this week, and I really like them. By the way, guys, if you get the Jabra Ehhance Pro now, they come as minis, which I'm going to be making a video on, and you also get the premium charger. So that's a tip for you guys. If you're thinking about getting the Jabras, that's even more incentive to go grab them. You get the premium portable charger, which has a built-in battery that will charge your hearing aids on the go without being plugged in. And you get the mini ones. So I'm probably going to be taking mine back and upgrading to the minis myself. So back to the question, he really liked them, but the quality of the phone call feature and streaming music are a bit disappointing. Any tips for improving the quality? And absolutely, Jim. Number one, and this is another question that somebody asked. I think we might cover it here in this video. If you're having trouble with the phone calls, now I'm not sure if you're referring to hearing their voices or if you're referring to the person that's on the other line that's hearing your voice. So one common complaint about using the phone call streaming is the sound quality reported from the person calling you or the person that you're talking to, what they're hearing. So not the person wearing the hearing aids, the person that you're talking to, the person on the other line is reporting in that they're having trouble hearing you and that it sounds like you're far away from the phone. And this is because by default, if you have an iPhone, when you're streaming a phone call, it's using the mic from the hearing aid so that you can use the hands-free feature. You know, let's say that the phone rings, it's in your pocket. Well, you can just hit the button on the hearing aid, answer the phone call without ever touching your phone. And the way that's possible is, again, it's using the microphone from the hearing aid and not the microphone on the phone itself. So if you have an iPhone and you have the Jabra hearing aids and people are telling you, oh, I can't really hear you very well. It sounds like you're far away. Am I on speakerphone? So what you can do is you can turn the mic input off and use the mic from the phone like normal so that you have to talk into it like this. The way to do that is you triple click 1, 2, 3. It's going to bring up your hearing aid options. You scroll all the way down and at the very bottom, it will say mic input on. That is the default setting, and you can turn it off And again, it's not going to use the mic from the hearing aid. It's going to use the mic from the phone. And when people turn the mic input off and use the phone like normal, the person on the other line is able to hear you much better. So if people tell you that, try switching it off. You can only do it while you're off of the phone. You cannot do it while you're on the phone call. So if you want to try it with it on, make your phone call, try it out, and then end the call. Go in here, turn the mic input off, and then place that phone call and see if it's any better. So quick tip for you guys on that. So if you're talking about the sound quality from the phone call, what you're hearing, and the streaming music sound quality, you can improve the quality. In my opinion, what I do is I go into the sound enhancer. So open up the app, whatever program you're in, click on the sound enhancer, and adjust your equalizer. And what I like to do is I will actually turn up the low frequency, the mids, and maybe turn down the high frequencies a little bit. And that gives you more fullness, a little bit more bass, not true bass, but it will bring in those lower frequencies more. And for me, it sounds a lot better. So now let's say you're listening to maybe Pandora, or you're watching a YouTube video, which I'm going to go ahead and go into right now. Okay, so I'm watching a video right now. You can go into the app. It's going to show that you're in the streaming program, and you could turn the surroundings down. That's basically the microphone. So you can turn it all the way down, and your hearing aids won't be picking up the people around you and the sounds around you. And all you're going to hear is the streaming audio. So that's, for me, that increases the quality big time. Just make sure if somebody comes up and starts talking to you that you turn the surroundings back on so that you can actually hear what they're saying. And thanks again, Jim, for the question. Next question. Hey, lo and behold, it's Jim again. Hey, Jim. So, Hearing Club. I'm not too concerned about the streaming music quality, as I don't use it that much and have other better options available. And quick note on that, you're going to get much better sound quality for music, for videos, stuff like that through a actual dedicated, wireless headset or just a regular headset. The hearing aids aren't made to be streaming music. It's just like a convenience thing. You're going to get much better sound quality through speakers or headsets that are made to be reproducing music. I do like the convenience of being able to take a phone call via the Jabra 10, but the caller sounds distant and the voice lacks fullness, so to speak. So that just goes back into what I was saying. Increase the lows a little bit, maybe increase the mids, and that usually helps me out. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, most of the folks that are streaming the phone calls, meaning you're getting the phone call audio through the hearing aids, they don't realize or don't understand that you can actually, while you're on the phone, you can control the volume with the side volume button. That goes for both the iPhone and the Android phones. So if you are not able to hear the speaker very well, just turn up the volume on the side. I'm sure you guys are already aware, but there's a lot of folks that don't know you can control the volume using the side volume buttons. And he said, I've made a few adjustments on my own and the calls seem to be getting better. I understand there is a phone program available and will inquire about it during my follow-up on the 21st. Until then, I will continue to tinker with the settings and equalization. Thanks for getting back to me. It is now the 4th. This was a month ago, so I'm assuming you already had that conversation. But for everybody else, there is a program that you can have set up on the hearing aids. This has to be done by your hearing aid fitter, and it is called acoustical telephone. And one of the things that program does is it's supposed to enhance the speech signal. And what they're talking about is the 70 dB input. So digital hearing aids will amplify loud sounds, medium sounds, or average sounds, and soft sounds, high, medium, and low volume sounds differently. So if you have a really loud sound, it's going to amplify it less than a whisper. Whispers are going to get more amplification, which makes sense, right? When you put the hearing aids in the acoustical telephone program, again, which can be added by your fitter, what it does is it increases the volume of the 70 dB or 70 decibel input. And it's also going to adjust the feedback settings so that you get less feedback when the phone is up close to your ear. So that's what the acoustical telephone program will do. So you can try it out. I never use it. I like the music, the front focus, which we're going to talk about in another video, and the outdoor program. Those are the ones that I normally use. So thanks again, Jim, for the question. All right, we have another question from Mr. Orlando. Good morning, sir. Thank you for a refreshing, straightforward presentation. Well, you're very welcome, sir. However, I do have a problem with the triple side button on my iPhone 14 Max, or on my iPhone 14 Pro Max. When I press the button 3 times, all I access is the payment option for my credit cards. Would you be so kind as to tell me what I'm doing wrong? I would appreciate any help. Thank you. Cheers from New Zealand. What's up, New Zealand? I'm so happy to know that you guys are watching these videos out there. That is awesome. And I know exactly what you are talking about, sir. And what he's talking about, folks, is the thing we were just looking at, the triple click. 1, 2, 3. All right. This triple click is supposed to bring up by default the hearing aid option if you have an iPhone and if your hearing aids are connected to the iPhone through the accessibility menu. Phonak hearing aids, the Kirkland or KS9s and 10s do not connect through that menu, but pretty much every other hearing aid does. It is an awesome secret iPhone menu. Now, when you triple click, if it doesn't bring up the hearing aid settings or it brings up something else, you can set and change what your triple click does. Okay. And you do that by going to your settings. You go down to accessibility. You guessed it. And then you go down to the very bottom on my iPhone 11 anyway. It's the very bottom option, and it is accessibility shortcut. And you can set that triple click option to do any of these things. And Orlando, just set it to your hearing aid devices. It's called MiFi hearing devices. You guys can't see this. I'll probably throw it up on the screen for you. So hope that helps. Thank you for your question, Orlando. And once again, cheers from the US. All right, guys. So that is going to do it for the questions. I hope you guys got something out of this. If you did, don't forget, like the video, and you guys can subscribe to see more Hearing Club videos. And that would be just superb. So thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to be doing another one of these videos as long as the questions keep coming in. And I can't wait to talk to you guys again. So thank you for watching. You guys all have an amazing day. And good luck out there with your hearing aids. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. Bye, guys.